Good morning, everybody. It is December the 20th. It's Thursday, and it is 20th day of Vlogmas. And you will see that I am in my truck again. I am headed to between El Paso and Beebe, Arkansas, to my friend Mayor Dyke's place to pick up a couple of horses. Her sons have decided that they don't have time for horses anymore, and we have a couple of young women at the barn program that need horses, and it's Christmas time and the parents wanted to get their kids horses for Christmas, so I've been playing matchmaker for the last 48 hours, and it has all worked out. And so Marianne and I are headed to get the horses. I am going to go to Atkins and get gas in my truck and meet her at the grocery store. That's our official meeting place. And then we're gonna go on down and pick up these horses. Hopefully everything will go smoothly. And we'll see how it goes. Maybe I can get Marianne to do a little bit on why she started the Rainbow Rider program on here, if she will, if she's not too bashful about being recorded. But either way, we're getting ready to kick off our 20th day of Vlogmas. Okay, so this is Miss Marianne. I'm driving, and she is my adopted mom essentially, and is also the founder of the Rainbow Riders program. So I'm going to let her tell you why she started the program.
Well, the reason I started the program was I had 7 unbroke or green horses, and I bought the horses for my grandchildren and for my family to ride. It turns out my grandchildren live in Little Rock, and they have other things like basketball, baseball, anything. And I realized that I was going to have horses that were not finished out. So little girls were calling me daily wanting to ride my horses, and I finally decided I would take 5 of my best students and form a little club of riders, and that's how we got started.
So now their parents all knew you from Tech, though, right?
Yes, all their parents had either taken swimming lessons from me, or gone canoeing with me, or took lifeguarding, and a lot of them were at Arkansas Tech when I taught there, and so they figured that if I was opening in a barn that I was going to be teaching, which was really not my intent, but that's what happened. Yeah, that's what happened.
Okay, so you started with that core group. You told me once, though, that the reason you bought the horses because that your dad said something to you.
Oh yes, my dad told me that every little girl should have a horse of her own, and then when he died, he left me the money so that I could provide horses for every little girl in our family, and that's where that started. And then what's happened is we've been able to get horses through Miss Deborah for every little girl to have her own horse.
So some of the big girls too.
Yes, and some of the big girls too. So you need to tell them about your horses too, Deborah.
Well, I will eventually. We're headed to go get 2 more horses.
That's true.
For some more little girls.
For some more little girls to ride, and we've got 2 little boys in the program too, and they started.
They're not so little anymore.
Yeah, Xander was probably about 10 or 11 or 12 when he got started. No, probably about 10, and he's still riding. His legs are longer than mine now. And then my grandson also rides. So we have 2 boys in our program, and the program just keeps getting bigger. As we have horses to provide the kids with, we just keep adding kids so that everybody will get to ride and love a horse.
So describe kind of what your intention for the program is. It's not just, oh, I'm going to show up and take a lesson. It's more than that. So kind of describe your motivation.
The motivation for me really is the horses. I want them to have what's best for them. You see a lot of horses standing out in the pasture not being used, and horses are very personable. They want to be with you. They want to do what you're doing, and so my motivation at this point is making sure that each horse has a rider, and we want to take every child that comes to the barn, every rider, and have them a horse. And eventually, we want them to have their own horse. Now, these kids can't own horses on their own if they don't usually have the property, or they don't have the finances, or whatever. And so we keep the horses there for them, and they are their horses. They own the horses as long as they're still in the Rainbow Rider program.
Yeah. And they don't just ride; they learn health care, nutrition, grooming, all that stuff.
We have a barn management program where the kids come and put the feed out, get the water in the buckets, call the horses up, and then keep the horses up and halter them. The ones that we're going to ride and the ones we don't ride, they turn back out. Nobody grooms and saddles those horses for them. If they want to ride, they've got to be able to do that themselves. That's a prerequisite for being in the Rainbow Riders, is you've got to be able to handle your own horse, tack up, and make sure the horse is safe to ride. And we work with kids and we decide if we've got a spot or a place or a horse who's good enough to fit in the program with the others.
Well, and one of the benefits too, I think, is you're teaching them skills beyond the barn. You're teaching them, especially the young women, confidence, how to manage. I was talking with my knitting group the other night. I said the thing I like about it is you can't manhandle a horse. It can't be done. You cannot be so strong that you're going to make a horse physically do anything. You have to be a partner to that horse, and that horse has to trust you. One of them was talking about, Eleanor stood up on Flame at the talent show, and the amount of trust that horse must have. So could you talk a little bit about our philosophy about training the horses?
Well, yeah, and that's true too. The horse had to trust Eleanor, but she also had to trust the horse.
Yeah.
And so when we are training a horse, the horse has to bond with the rider. If the horse does not bond with the rider, it means that they don't trust the rider.
Right.
And so what we start out with them doing is maybe round pinning the horse and walking with the horse. And what you want the horse to do is just follow you because he wants to be with you. If a horse will do that, then we assume that he trusts you, because that's what they do in the pasture. They follow the horse they trust. And so inside the barn, you're just another part of their herd. They're going to follow you if they trust you. And we don't want kids on these horses that their parents drug them out there, made them come, or they'd rather be at softball or something. We don't want those kids. We only want those kids that really, really want to be on a horse and wants to love a horse and spend as much time as necessary to keep that horse trained. And that's the kind of kids we have.
Yeah. Well, because, kids' motivations change as they age out, but for the most part, your group has been fairly cohesive.
Yes.
A kid starts out with the program and
they never go home. They never go, yeah.
And sometimes when they get older and they go off to college and stuff, time gets in the way. But
that's the only ones we've lost. Is our first little girl moved out of town. When she came back, she wanted to get back in the program, but her spot was filled. And then another one graduated she went to college, and then she graduated and she got married. And then this time we've got two more. We've got one that's 19, which is Joanne, getting ready to leave us. She's got to work and do other things. And then another one, Emma, is 18. She'll be going off to college in May. So we're always thinking about what's going to become of these horses, who's going to be riding them. We understand when our riders kind of age out of the program.
Yeah. Well, and horses are not a short-term commitment. They can live to be in their 30s.
Yeah.
So you get a horse when it's 2 or 3 years old, you're looking at a lifetime commitment, essentially.
Yeah, and then what we do with the horses is they once the horse trusts the rider and the rider trusts the horse, then they do all kinds of things. They do. We have a jumping clinic. We have a dressage clinic. Denise Gillespie comes down and works with us on those two things, and then we have trail rides. We have obstacle courses where horses have to walk over tarps or do something that's unnatural to them. And we're always planning something. We're working toward a goal all year long. Just like we just now finished our flag program. So beautiful. But the horses this year have been through that flag program enough that was no big deal, their rider to be handling a flag while on their back.
Yeah, and I posted the video of that to my channel.
Oh,
so
good.
They all saw it.
It's beautiful. I've watched it about 10 times. Each year they get better and better. And just think about, there's 12 riders in there working together in that arena to have a great show like they did.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So they work together, not only with their horses, but they have to work together as a team.
Yeah, I think this was definitely the best year.
It was. But
anyway, okay. Well, thank you for answering some questions. I talk about you a lot, so I figured people would like to hear from you.
Well, thank you so much for inviting me.
Okay.
What have we done? We went. I wanted to see you to see that temple over there.
Oh yeah.
We went and got us 2 horses. One Arab, one's half Appaloosa and half Tennessee Walker. And we're taking them home now. We want to turn them loose in our pasture and let them get used to things there. And then we want to have our riders riding them.
And Marianne's not going to have to live in the barn and eat hay, we hope. All right. What you think? Oh, that was a big shake. Good girl. What you think, big girl? It's all right. Girls.
We're gonna go say hello to mine.
Girls.
Yeah, that little one's beautiful, isn't she?
Yeah, they're both beautiful. That gray Hope or whatever you gonna call her. She just needs some groceries.
Yeah.
She's built beautifully.
Yeah, she is.
And when she moves out, she's pretty. She just needs some groceries. Good girls, checking it out. What you think, little bit? Don't know, huh? Oh yeah. Go back to the fence and say hello some more. What do you think, huh? So this is the little mare we picked out for Cheney. She's an Arabian, purebred Arabian. And then this is the mare that Marianne decided she wanted to take with her. She is Appaloosa Tennessee Walker. A little muddy, needs to be brushed out good, needs some groceries. But they're both really good-minded, sweet horses. Pretty fatties. Hello. Hello. Why are you eating that old nasty hay? Go up here to the good hay bale. It's right there. Go on. She'll find it.
Oh yeah, that's...
Hello, pretty girl. Hello, pretty girl. Yeah. They'll find that hay. Oh, hi babies.
Love us anyway.
Yes. They're like, we're fine. We found green stuff to eat. We're not stopping. We don't care.
I like it that these 2 are at the front to say everything's okay.
Hi.
They have water.
They got water. Oh, they're low over there. Well, usually Corey and them come after work, don't they?
Yes, today Thursday, yeah.
Yeah. He
Somebody
usually
bought
comes.
a new hose.
Oh.
They brought the other one up to the. That's why I was telling you it was in the feed room.
Oh, well, this one, yeah, this one reaches further. Maybe that's why. That other one you had to kind of arc it.
Yeah.
To get it to spray in those tanks. So.
I just wonder if it froze up.
I don't know.
If it froze up.
Well, maybe it did. I don't know. I don't ask too many questions. Yeah. Well, that's uneventful. They're just Gray's like, wait a minute. You brought another gray horse out here. What's going on? Well, I've decided to leave my trailer at Marianne's. I'm tired of dragging it around today. So I'm unhooking from it. I'm unhooking from it so I can leave it here. Just cranking up the jack on it so I can get off of it. Got the horses unloaded. They seem to be settling in fine. It's definitely gotten colder today. It was much warmer this morning when we took off than it is right now. Sit this down so I can finish uncranking this out. Okay, so yeah, we got the 2 horses unloaded. They seem to be settling in okay. There was always concern when you introduce new horses to a property that, you know, there'll be a kerfuffle, but fortunately they were more interested in the bale of hay and the green stuff that was out there than they were in arguing through the fence. They don't seem particularly combative anyway, so we're glad for that. Starling is up at the fence still trying to persuade him to come talk to him, but they're not. They're like, no, I'm gonna eat this green stuff. But I'm sure their personalities will start to shine through more and more as they get comfortable in their new environment. I don't know what the plan for revealing the little bay mare, the little Arabian mare to Cheney is. Her mom had wanted to come Christmas Eve, but that's also Marianne's birthday, and Marianne said, no, that's off limits. But Christmas Day is free. So I think the plan may be to get over here early and get her brushed out real good and get a big bow and put on her, so Cheney will know that she's a present, and that'll be fun. You know, every little girl should have a horse. I fully agree with Marianne's dad on that assumption. Every little girl should have a horse. I had them when we were growing up, but I was never allowed to ride them. So you know, now that I am an adult and pay my own way in the world and have my own insurance and pay my own deductibles, I'm like, I'm riding horses now. And you know, it doesn't matter. Yeah, I could get hurt on one of these horses, but I could get hurt driving down the road in a car too. And horses are what I love. So, you know, I told the girls at the barn that we're leaving, I said, you know, if you're truly meant to be around horses, they will never get out of your soul. I'm just driving up the driveway between the barn and the house, so don't be alarmed. They'll always be eating at your soul to come back to horses, if that's what's supposed to be. You know, horses may come into your life for a season, or they may come into your life for a lifetime, and either way they have important lessons to teach you, I believe. So anyway, Marianne offered me a ham sandwich, which I'm gladly going to take, because our McDonald's hamburger was a long time ago now. So I'll check back in with you guys in a little bit.
Hi, Bubby. Hi, Bo.
I got another sweet Christmas card from one of my adopters of a very sweet puppy named Pogo. So Michael and James adopted Pogo, and they already have Lance, and Pogo was a very sweet doggy, and I'm really glad I've gotten to know them. So I'm very tickled to get this cute little card from them. I wasn't expecting these to arrive today, but this is the complete set of patterns for the Yuletide Joy kit. Some of them still have some fabric. Some of them have been used, but some of them haven't. A couple of these I already had, like I already had block 1. But here's block 2, which I didn't have. Block 3 and 4, 5, 6, I definitely didn't have it. There's still some fabric in it. 7, which is the pine tree, and there's fabric still in it. 8, House and Stars. 9, I think I have this one, but I'm not positive, but oh well, I don't care. Mr. Nutcracker is number 10. Dizzy Snowman. And then Snoozing Santa feels like he's got all the fabric in there that hasn't even been cut. So now I have the full set of all the patterns. So now I can put them together, because I also, in my block 1 pattern that I already have the diagram of how they're all supposed to go together. So yay! Now I can get ambitious and got my installment of the Celtic Year Club. I don't have the pattern printed out, but it's a beautiful shawl called In the Trees, or Of the Trees, I believe. I've got it on Ravelry. And I got 2 beautiful skeins of this Nimue sock in Minerva. Is that not the most gorgeous color? Look at that color. That is perfect for a Yule shawl. And then we got this beautiful medallion from Copper Amazon. Isn't that gorgeous? Copper Amazon Jewelry Designs. Isn't that beautiful? And then we got this beautiful notebook. Look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? Celtic Year Club notebook. Isn't that great? I love that. Beautiful little journal. Can't wait to use that for something special. So got that today, and there's a surprise in the mail, and because tomorrow is the solstice. Hooray, hooray! Tomorrow is the solstice. Well, I'm home. Just a little bit before 5 o'clock. It's been an 8-hour day of hauling horses and getting horses organized. I was glad to do it. You know, I think that horses, as I have said before, are incredible healers, and they have a special place in my heart. And sometimes you just know when it's the right thing to do, and I truly think that all the pieces fell into place for this today, including my vet happening to be there at the right time for us to ask some crucial questions. I think that both these mares have a lot of potential, and I think they'll be an excellent asset. I know that Cheney's going to be thrilled over the moon to have a horse of her own. And the app mare, I think, will be a great asset to the program. I'm glad that Marianne was able to make it happen to bring her home too. You know, I know my friend Mare gets really discouraged because she wants so many things, and right now her family doesn't support her dreams in any kind of way, and I know that that's got to be so frustrating. And it's really kind of sad because she is an incredible and wonderful, good-hearted person, but you know, it's hard when your family doesn't support or help you, you know, and then to have a disability on top of that makes it extra hard. But anyway, I feel like the horses are where they need to be. I think everything kind of aligned, and the stars aligned in such a way that it was all falling into place at once. And I truly believe that sometimes there's a bigger purpose behind things, and that things fall into place like they're supposed to. I am incredibly tired, not because it was a arduous journey. It's just, you know, you're constantly vigilant when you're pulling a trailer, as I have talked about before. And so I'm gonna go in the house and probably go to bed. So I'm gonna, or not go to bed, but, you know, just relax the rest of the evening and probably watch some West Wing and knit or crochet or do something. I don't know. Excuse me. So I'm gonna go ahead and end this Vlogmas for today, and I will see y'all tomorrow. So until I see y'all again, be good to each other and take care of each other. Peace out, y'all. Bye.